Not just me. There's actually a friend of mine that lives in Montana who was actually raped by her stepfather.
That's an opinion. That is an opinion to keep the baby, and you telling me that it would be wrong of me to want to get rid of it?
It's an opinion because a woman I know went through that and says she would want you to do that as much as I would want you to do that.
That is an opinion.
Again, she has just as much as she has the right to keep that baby.
That is an opinion that you want me to keep a baby after I've been raped.
Is it an opinion for somebody to rape a woman? Is it a choice?
That is a choice that somebody makes.
Is it a right choice or a wrong choice?
It is a wrong choice.
How do you know it's wrong?
Because you are you are oppressing a woman.
Okay. So it's wrong to oppress people.
It's wrong to force
for a
penetration
larger,
inside of a
stronger
woman
person to
and take innocence away from a
their will.
woman.
Okay. So it's wrong for a powerful party to oppress a weaker party.
Different than what
right?
Okay, that argument is invalid when it comes to abortion.
Why?
Because
it's like completely disassembles
rape
your
and
argument.
abortion
You
are
don't like
different.
that because
Period.
you don't want
they are different.
They are different.
They're different, but they're also similar.
The opinions are different.
They have similar elements.
Yeah, they are similar.
They have similar elements.
They are similar elements. Somebody strong putting force on a younger person.
So how is that? How is it not that? How is it not a stronger person oppressing a weaker? How is it not a stronger party oppressing a weaker party?
It is, but the opinions are allowed to be different.
Okay, why?
Because the emotional trauma that comes with rape is different from an from an abortion. Because usually, whenever you want to have an abortion, it is a conscious choice that you make. And you know what? There's counseling for that. And
there's a conscious, but there's a conscious choice to rape. There's a conscious choice to rape.
Yeah, but you don't choose to get raped.
Right. But what I'm saying is the rapist is the oppressor, and the abortive woman is the oppressor. And that's the analogy I'm making. Tell me why I'm wrong.
You're not wrong, but the thing
okay,
is
I'm not
that
wrong.
if you took a fetus out of your stomach in the second trimester, the time when it is almost the end of time to get an abortion,
in the state,
it would die. Period. It would die.
I have a tick?
Had a tick, right?
Have I had a tick? Yeah, I've had a tick, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically the same thing as baby.
A parasite. So offspring aren't parasites. Let's try again. Try something better. I would like to stick with the rape thing, okay? Because they're offspring.
Explain how
because they're offspring. Yes, everything. Children do that. Children do that. Okay. But your mother carried you in her womb. Okay. That doesn't. Listen. You can say I was a parasite, but that doesn't make it okay for you to have been killed at that time. It just changes. Tell me why. Tell me why it's okay to kill a parasite in that case, a human parasite.
If you don't want somebody
living inside you, you don't want to get an abortion.
If you think rape should be illegal, then don't rape people. It's the exact same argument. Okay. Why is it not? Tell me why it's not. I keep asking you this. Yes, they are two different things, but the elements are similar enough at the key points that they are the same. Yeah, they really are. Tell me why they're not. Can you reason with me instead of just opining and emoting like you're doing? Because right now all you're doing is spilling out all your emotion, your hatred, and your hurt. You don't have to carry this hate in your inside you.
You physically take a person and hold them down. And you force
in an abortion,
yourself
same thing.
Inside of them.
Abortion, yeah.
You're sedated, and you vacuum.
No, not the woman. The child gets ripped apart.
Yeah,
you're very confused. I'm not talking about the woman getting raped. How do you know it's not a child? Because your teachers told you?
A fetus and a child is the fact that a fetus has an umbilical cord to absorb the nutrients from everything the mother eats. Children do not have umbilical cords. They eat.
Sounds like you're just changing definition because you want it. That's the definition you choose. The definition you choose.
All of you guys do.
You're actually wrong about that. We take our definition from Jesus Christ. What is your authority?
So you're going to use religion as your backup to tell people that it's wrong whenever religion is a faith.
You're wrong about that. You're wrong about.
Whenever religion is
that's two things you said. You're wrong about both.
So you use your religion as a foundation for it, and you
yes.
say that
yes. Jesus is the foundation for all moral opinions and all facts.
That is a faith-based practice.
It's not fact. It's not fact. Jesus.
And so you are saying that I don't know why you use religion as a foundation.
And I'll tell you why.
Why not? Jesus.
I know. I'll tell you why. If you'll let me talk, I'll tell you why. It's because Jesus Christ actually made this whole universe. He made you. He made me. No, it's not my opinion. Okay, so gravity pulls us down. That's an opinion too. Okay. Oh, it's a fact. Tell me how it's a fact. How do you know?
Because it's been proven by science, and you guys are very
Prove it.
You guys are very big believers in science,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yes.
So you would know the fact that gravity is a legitimate thing.
Prove to me that gravity is a thing right now.
I forget who
Prove to
created
me,
the law of gravity.
Who created the law of gravity? That's a very silly thing to say, actually. Tell me that you know you have a phone in your hand right now, or in your pocket right now. Tell me you have it. Tell me, how do you know? How do you know it's physically there? How do you know that your perceptions accurately match reality?
How do you know? You don't.
Hold on. Yeah, I do, actually, and so do you. But if your worldview is true, I'm asking you to be consistent. Okay? I want you to tell me, according to your worldview, how you know that your perceptions match reality. Don't say, you don't either, because then reality, we don't know it.
Because when I do something in reality, it happens according to that.
How do you know?
Because I've seen. What do you mean, how do I know?
How do you know that your eyes accurately perceive the outside world?
Nobody does.
Okay, so nobody does. Hold on. Yes, nobody does. Okay. How do you know that the things that your eyes take in are accurately transmitted to your brain?
It's okay to shove you guys' opinions down everyone's
Okay, so nobody can know that either. How do you know that your brain accurately interprets the signals that your nerve impulses deliver to the brain?
I can't.
Okay, so you don't know any of that. Okay, so in actuality, what you said you know for sure, you actually don't know. Is that right? Okay, so that means you don't actually know anything, do you? Because you've just told me that your eyes and your senses don't necessarily perceive reality correctly, that the nerves don't necessarily deliver those impulses to your brain correctly. You don't know for sure. You think they do, but you don't know, which is blind faith.
So can you say that thing?
Okay, so nobody knows. Let's just stick with that. So nobody knows. That means abortion is an illusion. We think it. Some of us think it, maybe. You think I'm standing here. But you don't know that for sure, do you? Because your eyes could be deceiving you, and your brain could be misinterpreting the impulses it's receiving from the nerves, right?
I guess technically.
Okay. So,
that's what I'm saying.
you guess it's blind faith, is what I'm trying to say. No, you don't think so?
Blind faith is religion.
Blind faith is what you just told me. Blind faith is what you just told me.
How is blind faith?
I'll show you blind faith. I'll help you because I just helped him. How do you know that your eyes are accurately perceiving the world around you right now? How do you know? So you're not willing to be consistent, is what you're telling me. You have blind faith in your religion.
I don't have a religion, buddy.
Yes, you do. Your religion, I'll tell you what your religion is. Your religion is, I think I perceive stuff. That's your blind faith. You don't know. I say it is a religion, so I guess if it's my opinion, it's real, right? Okay.
So, your opinion is definitely real.
Now, how do you know that opinions are not real?
You can't prove it because they're opinions.
How do you know what proof is?
You want him to die.
How do you know what proof is?
What do you mean?
How can you prove anything if your eyes don't necessarily perceive reality correctly?
Everything you're saying
is true, because the Bible was.
What I want you to understand is, if what you've been telling me is true, if your worldview is true, then a consistent conclusion after that would be to doubt everything you think you know. Everything. I want you to come to that consistently. Should you doubt and question that?
Yep.
Okay, so you just told me that you should doubt and question everything, and you should doubt and question that.
Well, I mean,
how does that make sense? Tell me how that makes sense.
The level of ignorance you guys put behind your arguments is beyond ridiculous.
Tell me how I'm wrong.
I never said you're wrong.
Okay. So you think? Okay. So my friend, what's your name, by the way? My name's Alan. Christian. Nice to meet you. Man, I think I've talked to you before. Come to think of it.
Probably.
I'm not sure. Anyway, you seem sort of familiar now that you say your name. Anyway, so I want you to come to a place where you're understanding. If your proclamation is consistent, if your worldview leads to anything consistently, it's that you should doubt everything you think you know, including that I'm here, including all of the moral values that you think are true, including all of the statements that you want to make, including whether slavery happens or abortion happens or murder is a thing. None of those things you actually know if your worldview is true. But your worldview is actually not true. And the way I know that is, if your worldview is true, we can't know anything. Nobody can. So when you say to me, well, how do you know? Exactly. If your worldview is true, nobody can know anything at all. Nobody can. And so
then what's your worldview is follow what some book says that somebody might have wrote, who might have been
No, that's where you're mistaken. My worldview is that Jesus Christ is the creator of everything, and that he has revealed things to people such that we can know them for certain. Okay? So there may be challenges like foolish things that he says, like, oh, there are lots of Jesus Christ, which is actually false. But the only way, if your worldview is true, his statement makes no sense because we can't know whether there were other Jesus Christs in the world. We don't know whether history happened.
Why does it matter?
We don't know any. Why does it matter whether history happened?
No. Why does it matter whether your Jesus is real or not? Why does any of that matter? If that's your religion, you believe in it. That's your thing. Who gives a flying fuck when you can believe that there's no such thing? That shouldn't bother you. You should be comfortable in your fact that you think abortion's wrong. You think that your religion is correct. That's your opinion. You shouldn't be trying to tell them that's what this is going on.
Why shouldn't I?
I mean, I guess you can, but when all these people...
Oh, so you say I can? Thank you for letting me. Thank you for your gracious permission. Who are you to tell me what to think and what to do?
You do the same thing to us.
I know, but who are you? Dude, Christian, you got to think consistently, man. Right now you're being a fool, and I'll tell you how. Because our worldviews are not the same. You're sitting here trying to appeal to some non-existent authority to tell me what I ought to do. When I turn that back to you, you're like, oh, it's the same thing for me. It's not the same thing. My worldview is that Jesus tells me what to do, and he is to be obeyed in all things. It's a totally different structure. You need to poke holes in my worldview.
Okay, why would you blindly believe and follow what some guy tells you?
I don't blindly follow it.
You're saying this is what he's telling you to do, and then you're going to do it. Because you know what? Because you're scared of him. Because you want that. Why would you?
I love him.
You love him.
He died on the cross for me. He saved me.
You think that?
No, I know it. Because he revealed it to me such that I can know it for certain. It was a spiritual thing. It wasn't so much of an experience more than like a conviction of sin and a heavy burden on my heart of my depravity.
An experience,
yes.
If it happened.
Yeah, and it's okay because Jesus can give people... Context, my friend. Don't be pedantic, okay? Don't be pedantic. Seriously, if Jesus exists, he can give people a direct revelation of himself that is certain. He can make it so that we can trust our senses, generally speaking. He can make it so that the world is actually here and that we can know that. He did know. He did. He did it for everybody. Okay? But if your worldview is true, you can't know whether anything is real at all. No moral state. Is it true that it's okay with you?
Your Jesus is fake.
How do you know?
How can he protect you?
How do you know?
If he wants to right now, if he wants to kill you, you're dead. And your Jesus isn't going to do shit. He's going to sit here and watch you die.
If you kill me, I'm going to go to heaven. That would be fine with me. Okay?
You can believe.
That would be fine with me.
My ideas on all these views. Yes, I don't think abortion is right, but if a woman wants it as her choice and everything, I think that's okay. But if a woman gets raped and everything...
Dude, rape is a choice, and it's wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay, so really, that's all of your argument is destroyed, because rape is a powerful party choosing to oppress a weaker one, just like abortion is.
If a young woman gets raped, though, does she not have the choice to abort the baby?
The baby should not be executed for the crimes of his father. Okay?
That is oppression.
It's murder to murder a child. It's murder.
It's not alive. If you cannot perceive...
Dude, it is alive. It is alive.
Okay, let's say it's alive.
It is alive.
Let's say it's alive.
You don't know whether you perceive the outside world. You don't know anything. So is it okay for me to kill you?
How? What do you mean? If it's inside,
aren't you a clump of cells?
See it inside.
Aren't you a clump of... Don't you rely on other people to give you food and stuff?
No.
You don't, really. You work, you grow all your food, you grow your cows, and you grind your grain. Be serious, Christian. Be serious, Christian.
You be serious. You're trying to tell me that some guy...
You rely on other people. You rely on other people.
Everybody
and then you're telling me that somebody else who relies on somebody else, it's okay to murder them, but it's not okay to murder you? Be consistent, my friend.
Why not? If you want to murder me, do it right now. If you want to kill me,
do it right now. But would it be right?
Fuck.
Would it be right for me to do that?
Why not?
So it's okay to kill anybody?
If I'm a horrible person, yeah.
Okay.
It's your choice.
So why are you arguing against me that I shouldn't be out here exposing the evil of abortion? Don't you think I shouldn't do that?
No, I mean, if you want...
No, you think I should? Why aren't you joining us then, if it's all the same to you? Is it wrong to be ignorant?
Yes.
Is it wrong to love ignorance? It's not, really? You sure? I mean, I thought you told me a second ago that you're ignorant about everything because you don't know for sure whether your senses accurately perceive reality. Then prove to me one thing you know for certain, Christian. We've been here before, man. Come on. We've been here before, bro. Do it. Do it. Prove that you're a human being. Really prove that it's not. Oh, dude, he's the wild claim maker. He's saying he's a human being, or so are you. So prove it. I'm the skeptic. Prove my doubt wrong. Show my skepticism is unwarranted. Preach the gospel to me. Tell me about your religion and how great it is.
That's your problem. You want to follow something because you're too scared to think for yourself. To follow
no, I do think for myself.
You do?
Yeah, sure. plenty of ways. I mean, like, what do you want me to say? Like,
you live off
I do.
Code, right?
Of course.
That's your code.
So do you. You just told me that ignorance is wrong. That's a code.
No, it's not.
Be consistent.
I'm not saying that. If she wants to be ignorant right now, she wants to be ignorant for the rest of her fucking
So
life.
it's not wrong. So it's not wrong. Is anything wrong? Is anything wrong at all?
That's a moral opinion. Yeah.
So nothing is actually like morally wrong. It's all opinion.
That's moral opinion.
Rape is okay. Rape is just as valuable as not rape. The reason you're frustrated is because, see, you're okay. Wait, could you say that in the microphone, please? You think rape is okay?
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying it's okay. I'm just saying that no matter what, it will happen.
What about shoving 5 million Jews in ovens? Is that okay?
It happened. I mean,
what about raping 20 children? Is that okay?
It happens.
But is it okay?
I'm not in any position to say if it's okay or not.
To your moral
you don't
code,
know.
You would think it is wrong.
I don't necessarily have a moral code. I do things as they happen.
Okay. You tell me why molesting 20 children is wrong, Christian.
I mean, to me it's wrong because...
No, not to me. Tell me why it is wrong, not your opinion. You
can't
say it. Okay, just your opinion. So let me ask you this way. So let's say Joe comes along, and Joe says, dude, I think molesting 20 children is actually morally obligatory. Prove him wrong. Not just okay, he thinks it's obligatory. Preach the gospel to him. Tell him how he's wrong. Tell him how he shouldn't molest 20 children. Can you?
That's not my point. That's not my job.
It's not your job.
No.
Okay. So it might be okay as far as you know.
No, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
It's not okay to my moral code, but if it's okay to him, I can't tell him no.
You
I
can't?
am not his boss. I am not his fucking parent.
So you don't have any way to speak truth into his life about his desire to molest 20 children and his belief that it's morally obligatory?
I could say it's wrong to take that innocence from children.
You think.
It's wrong.
You think, right? But you don't know it, right?